about maybe some of those veterans who worked for the federal government and maybe what the administration can do to at least help salvage their lives?
Well, as you know, we care about veterans tremendously. I mean, that's something the president has always cared about. Anybody in blue, anybody that serves this country. But at the same time, we have taxpayer dollars. We have a fiscal responsibility to use taxpayer dollars to pay people that actually work. That doesn't mean that we forget our veterans by any means. We are going to care for them in the right way, but perhaps they're not fit to have a job at this moment or not willing to come to work. And we can't, I wouldn't take money from you and pay somebody and say, sorry, they're not going to come to work. It's just not acceptable.
That was Trump lawyer Alina Habba's take on the veterans who are losing their federal jobs in President Donald Trump's DOGE workforce reductions. Now, without a shred of data to back her up, Habba suggested that some of these veterans might not be fit to have a job at this moment, or worse, that they just don't want to work. Without a shred of evidence. I need to underline that. No evidence. No evidence at all. Maybe she's just taken Elon Musk at his word, which, yeah, it's probably what she's doing, or maybe not. Maybe she's taken Donald Trump at his word, but without a shred of evidence. She has made this statement. Now, she also goes on, and as you heard, she says, we care about veterans tremendously. That's what she told the reporters there. But at the same time, we have taxpayer dollars. We have a fiscal responsibility to use taxpayer dollars to pay people that actually work. Shred of evidence. Show us some data, please. There's a lot of folks out there that watch these videos, and they'll say to me sometimes, occasionally, I get folks who say, well, where's your proof? Show us the data, Lou. And I always have the links, always have the data. In this case, I'm giving you the video so you can see what she told reporters. So that right there is my data, but I want to see data from her. But listen, then came this gem from Alina Habba. We're going to care for them in the right way, but perhaps they're not fit to have a job at this moment or not willing to come to work. Not willing to come to work and not fit for the job. Again, I'll go back to it. Shred of evidence. Let that all sink in. Let what she said, let it all sink in without a shred of evidence. Veterans, many of whom have sacrificed their health, their careers, and their stability, their personal stability for this country, they've sacrificed, and now they're being casually dismissed as not fit to work. But they can go to war. Yeah, they can go to war and they can fight for this country. My two son-in-laws can go to Afghanistan and Iraq and fight for this country. And they gave up a lot. They sacrificed, in some cases, in their health, sacrificed their stability for our country. And now they're being told, hey, you know what, maybe you are, not fit to work. Yeah, veterans are paying the price. Her remarks have sparked outrage, with critics arguing that Alina Habba and the Doge boys are trivializing, I'm saying that word right, the contributions of those who served. But the fallout is real. Military veterans, they make up nearly 1/3 of the federal workforce, and they're taking the brunt of these layoffs. Organizations like the Veterans of Foreign Wars and Paralyzed Veterans of America, they've been sounding the alarm. They're warning that these cuts will disproportionately harm veterans who have dedicated their post-military careers to serving their country in a different capacity. Now, let's just talk numbers. Half of all veterans in the federal workforce as of September 2021 were designated as disabled, meaning they left the military with a service-connected disability. Many federal veteran employees are older. An estimated 30 to 40% are between the ages of 45 to 54, and another 35 to 45% are between 55 to 64. The average veteran's age is 58. In fact, 41.2% of all veterans are between 45 to 64, while just over 37% are 65 or older. So when Alina Habba, casually dismisses these veterans as not fit to work, she's talking about a group of hardworking, older Americans who have already faced age discrimination and financial insecurity. And now, these folks, they're being told that they're basically a burden. You're not coming into work. You're not fit to work. You know, Habba's tone-deaf comments come hot on the heels of Elon Musk's recent appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast, where he called Social Security
the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
Right, explain that.
Oh, so, well, people pay into Social Security, and the money goes out of Social Security immediately, but the obligation for Social Security is your entire retirement career. So you're paying with you're paying.
I have to shut that off. He's stumbling. If you want to see the rest of that, I've got a link in the description box to the video that I just did recently, and it plays the rest of that of his comments as he stumbles through and tries to justify Social Security as being a Ponzi scheme. You know, here's Musk, one of the richest men in the world, who's commenting on Social Security being a Ponzi scheme. But, you know, his comments, they've only fueled growing concerns that there's a coordinated push to undermine essential safety net programs. Programs, by the way, that many of us know. Programs that have kept millions of older Americans, disabled individuals, and struggling families afloat for decades. And here's the thing. I'm all for cutting government inefficiency, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. You don't take a chainsaw to vital programs and then pretend that you're doing it all for the good of the people, the American people. That's what they want. No, you don't take a chainsaw. You use a scalpel. You make targeted, responsible changes that fix waste without gutting programs people rely on. And let's be honest here, folks. This isn't really about efficiency. My suspicion, Habba and Musk comments are nothing more than a calculated ploy to justify slashing the federal workforce, weakening safety nets, and protecting Trump's massive tax cuts from further scrutiny. Because when they talk about fiscal responsibility, guess who ends up paying the price? Not them, not the billionaires, not the powerful. It's you. Well, that is all I have for you today, folks. I want to hear your comments. Love to hear your thoughts on this video. And more importantly, I'd love to hear your thoughts on these chainsaw cuts, on the Elon Musk, Donald Trump, Doge chainsaw cuts that are slashing, I want to say devastating, our social programs that are vital to all of us. So I'd love to hear your comments. If you disagree, that's fine. If you agree, that's fine too. Just want to hear what your thoughts are. So as I said, that's all I've got for you. I will ask you, though, if you are interested, if you're inclined, then go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to Over 50 TV. Now, I also have a second channel. It's called Side Hustle Rules. You can subscribe to that channel. I started that channel because I wanted to help folks learn how to start either a side hustle or start a full-time business. Some of you know I'm the creator, I'm the host of Over 50 TV and Side Hustle Rules. Some of you know that. Now, a few of you also know that I started a chain of business-to-business magazines from scratch. Started it from one publication, built it into a chain, sold it. It eventually grew to 17 cities in the United States. I also own 2 national trade show companies, had a radio program, launched, I'd say, probably close to almost a dozen businesses. At last count, I think it was 11. So let's just say 11 businesses that I started. But I use all that experience to help folks, to show you how you can go ahead and take charge of your life and maybe live that life of your dreams and not have to rely on this stuff that's just happening all around us. And it's going to happen all around us for the next few years, folks. So if you want to subscribe to Side Hustle Rules, go ahead and do that. I also have my free breaking news email. And it's an email where I send you information once a week, maybe every other week or so. It just depends when things come out. The information that I think that you're going to be interested in for my audience, for this audience, for people who are over the age of, let's just say 45, because that's really my demographic, 45 plus. So sign up for my free breaking news email. Again, there's a link to that in the description box as well. There's some other links that you might find helpful or important to you. Well, again, that's all I got for you. Think about subscribing to both channels. As I always say, have a great day, everybody.